So I've had a couple people ask me to do a video strictly about how to meditate, and I'm happy to do that. A meditation, the first thing that I'm going to say before we even get to the 30-second mark in this video, meditation is not a doing. It's not an activity. And that doesn't mean, like, just because you're sitting there not moving, that's meditating. Because the thing is, it isn't a doing and it isn't a not doing. It's not action and it's not inaction. It's neither of those things. It's not do or not do. It isn't do or not do. It's being. It's existing. It's experiencing yourself as something deeper than thought forms and emotions. It's the sensory awareness of those things. And I think you might appreciate my how to meditate video. I think it's going to be a little different than what you hear most of the time from people. And what you hear most of the time from people about how to meditate is perfectly fine. But a lot of the stuff that you're going to get is going to be like how to do this breathing exercise or how to do a mantra. And those things are fine. Those are great, actually. But what I want to do is really get to the root of this. Like, what exactly is meditation? And, you know, honestly, I kind of just gave you the answer already, right? It's a being. But you want to know how to do that. Right. So let me start with this demonstration, and this is how I illustrate it to students in my paid coaching programs. Meditation. So your body, mind, soul, right? The soul is consciousness. And that consciousness, that awareness, you can place it either on thinking and emotion or sensory perception. Let's put it that way. So sensory perception could be your five senses, and that's a good place to start. So I'm just going to stick with that at the beginning. So instead of focusing on thinking and emotion, you're looking away from the thoughts and emotions and focusing on your five senses, like what you can hear or feel, or even what you can see, right? So, because if you're sitting in a chair trying to meditate, presumably you've got your eyes closed, right? And all you're doing, literally all you're doing, is switching your focus back to, say, what you can hear and feel over and over and over again. Because the mind, you're never going to make it stop. Like the object, you should write this on a sticky note. Or if you're taking notes at all, just write this down really big. The purpose of meditation is not to make thinking stop. Thinking will never stop, ever, until you die. Thinking is always happening. It's just, are you focusing on that? Are you looking at that? Or are you looking away instead? Right? So even as you're sitting there meditating, a thought can come up. And so your mind is saying some stuff, right? So you see, like, my hand, like a puppet, right? Is talking, thinking about some shit. And at some point, what you need to do is catch yourself focusing on the thought and go, oh, and then you look away again. Now, where are you looking away? What you can see, hear, touch, what you feel. And I found that, for me anyway, the two senses out of my five senses, because remember, you're taking your focus off thought and emotion and switching it to your five senses. That's all you're doing. The two senses that seem to work best for me is hearing and touch. And when I say touch, I mean like feeling my body. So when I feel my body, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's do an exercise right now so that you know what I'm talking about. That's the best way for you to learn this, is to actually do it. So if you're sitting there right now, close your eyes. You're listening to me talk. And even if you're walking, you can do this. But place all of your awareness on your nose. I'm serious. Just feel your nose. Like focus on the area of space that your nose takes up. Now, move your awareness to your ears and just feel the space that your ears take up in space. You can feel the presence of your ears. Okay, now move to your left foot. And now all of your attention, focus, awareness, consciousness is all focused on your left foot. And you can feel like it's almost like heaviness in the space that your left foot takes up. Now do that for your whole body. And listen to the sound that you can hear. Just focus all of your awareness on your whole body. I can feel my whole body in the chair. I sense it. And what I can hear. And I mean, right now as I'm making this video, I can hear the ringing in my ears. I can hear like the air, like the stillness of the air around me. Now, the mind is going to want to say, okay, now what? Right? Because the mind, it thinks that there's some kind of a purpose to meditating, and there isn't. The mind is like waiting for something to happen. Like, why are we doing this? Because like, again, the mind, it's going to say, well, we need to make thoughts stop. That's what meditation is, right? We're going to make thoughts stop. Well, not quite. Thinking is like your heartbeat. It's like digestion. It's just always happening. And you're never going to make it stop. What you can do is get really good at not focusing on thought and emotion too, right? Those are both the mind. And they do quiet down quite a bit. It's almost like, so the wheel is spinning. And what adds energy to the wheel is you're focusing on it. When you focus on the wheel, it spins more. And there's no off switch. So the only thing you can do to get the wheel to stop spinning is to look away from it. And if you do that for long enough, eventually the wheel starts to run out of momentum. It takes a long time. So don't expect results overnight with your meditation, right? You might have to stick to this for a while. You know, a week or two, you should see some kind of a major difference, actually. So that's not that long, really. I recommend meditating every day in the morning for 20 minutes, after bed, and at night before you go to bed for 20 minutes. No blue light for 45 minutes before bed, and meditate for 20 minutes before and after bed. And again, all you're doing is When you catch yourself focusing on thought or emotion, you look away and shift all of your awareness back into your sensory perception. And again, like feeling your body, that's a big one. That's a big one. Now, the next thing that you could do, if you want to put it that way, is as you're sitting there, maybe after a week or two, after you get good at what I just kind of described to you, all you're doing is over and over and over again, looking away from thought and emotion. And actually, let me pause here and go a little bit more deeply into that and just point out that you're going to do that over and over and over and over again every time you meditate for the rest of your life. It's normal for you to always be catching yourself in thought. And you don't go, oh, I got to stop. Don't do that, because that's more thinking. If you catch yourself looking at thought and you're like, this isn't working, what am I going to do? That's another thought. Right? So don't think that either. If you catch yourself thinking and then punish yourself, don't do that. You all you need to do is just look away. You're doing that over and 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 over again as you're sitting there meditating. And again, over time, you'll get better at it. But I think the longest I've gone with not getting sucked back into thought during any one meditation was about a minute. And most spiritual teachers will tell you that's pretty good. I mean, the mind, it doesn't stop, guys. It's not designed to stop, and that's not what meditation is. Now, the other thing that I was going to talk about is once you get relatively good at catching yourself in thought and looking away from it and going back into your sensory perception, all of your senses, once you feel like you kind of got that part, another thing that I like to do is as I'm sitting there, I kind of like, because you're feeling your body, we just practiced doing that, right? I'll like see how deeply I can go with like releasing tension in my body. It's like I'm going in and in and in and in and in and in and in. And what I mean by going in and in and in and in and in is it's almost like I'm releasing layers of tension as I'm going in. The deeper I go, I feel tension like releasing, like infinitely, like letting go of my body, like complete surrender and release of my body. And again, try to do the practicing looking away from thought and getting a good rhythm with that first. Spend a week or two getting good at that part, and then you can kind of throw this in where it's releasing tension over and over and over again, like going deeper and deeper and deeper. So you're sitting there and it's like you can feel this release of tension going all the way as deeply as you can go into your body. It's like the very fiber of your being is all that's left. Just releasing layer after layer after layer of tension in your body. How deeply can you go with that? And then guys, that's pretty much all there is to it. There's no object, there is no goal to meditation. That's the whole point, is the complete cessation of do not do. Should I do something? Should I not do something? What should I do? Right? It's the complete cessation of that whole paradigm where you're just existing, you're just being. People have become so desensitized to simply existing that they don't even notice it anymore, right? The fact that you are this deep divine essence, this being who is just exactly that. Just an essence without any action or inaction, without any having to relate to the outside world. There's no purpose whatsoever to meditation. You're not trying to accomplish anything at all. And here's another thing, I'll close with this. Once you get good at like a good sit-down meditation like this, that I've kind of just explained to you, you know, after a month or two, you could start to introduce it into your daily life. Take pause every hour or half hour and get into a meditative state for just a minute. I do that all the time. I'll be like sitting at my desk working, and every half hour or so, I'll pause for just 1 minute and just get Zen for a minute and then go back to what I was doing. So you could do that all day long. When you're going for a walk, you do it all the time, guys. You'll feel a lot better off for it. All right, guys. Good video today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.